I'm Andy Aledort. In this edition of In Deep, I'd like to talk about different types of chord progressions, specific progressions, known as a cycle of fourths, and then we're going to get to a cycle of fifths as well. As the name implies, the chord progression of a cycle of fourths means that each successive chord is a fourth, intervallically speaking, away from the previous chord. So you might say to yourself, what's a fourth? What's an interval? What is a chord? These are all legitimate questions. So, as is often the case, when you talk about intervals, the best, most effective, and fastest way to understand what you're talking about is to go back to the major scale, because you can count the scale degrees of the major scale, and each number, that is the name of the interval. It couldn't be simpler. So a major scale is 7 tones. In the key of A, you have F sharp, G sharp, A. So you would count A, that's the key we're in, so that's the 1, or the root note, 1. So since the second note of the scale is B, that is the second, an interval of a second, one whole step away from A. The third note is the third, also known as the major third, because we're in the major scale, 1, 2, 3. But a shortcut is to just use the numbers. So instead of saying 1, major second, major third, you could say 1, 2, 3. 4 is the fourth, 5 is the fifth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, F sharp would be the sixth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, G sharp would be the seventh, and then 8 is the same as 1, octave. So, to go back cycle of fourths, if you had an A chord, the chord that's a fourth away would be 1, 2, 3, 4, a D chord. Makes a little too much sense, right? A, D. But to continue the cycle, then you would need to say, well, what's the fourth of D? So use the same formula. Then you would think of a D major scale and count up 1, 2, 3, 4. So the fourth of D is G. So if I were to play 3 chords in a row that are fourths apart from each other, I'd have A, D, G. You'd continue the process. What's the fourth of G? C. So, makes perfect sense. And that's your 12-tone cycle of fourths right there. So, in all kinds of different music, especially in Baroque classical music like Bach, you hear arpeggiated chords and chord progressions that are described via these arpeggios. And oftentimes, the chord progression will be in a cycle of fourths or a cycle of fifths. So let's start with the cycle of fourths. And the first 2 chords are going to be minor chords, then the rest of the chords will be major chords. So if we have A minor, that'll be followed by D minor. Fourth apart, G, C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, and then we get back to A, so let's make it A major, just to make a nice sounding resolution. All right, so now let's play through that chord progression that I just played using all arpeggios. They're going to be triads, so on the minor chords, there'll be minor triads. All the chords will be built from 1 flat 3, 5, and then after the first 2 chords, A minor and D minor, the rest will be major chords. So those will be major triads built from the first, major third, and the fifth. You know, for some of you, this is might sound like too much theory. A little bit goes a long way. But this is a great way to get started with theory if you don't know. If you do know, then you can see it on the board and understand it quickly, which is really where the value is. The other thing about doing this is There are so many ways to play arpeggios on the guitar. So there's always that choice to be made. How do I go about playing through arpeggios? And if I'm going to play them across multiple octaves or within a single octave, we're going to start with just sort of ascending and descending. And in the exercises to follow in the future columns, we'll get into all different ways to utilize these things and familiarize ourselves with them on the board. Here's A minor. And here's D minor. And now to go to G, I'm going to leave out the B string. To C, and you can see there's a wide stretch there. F, just like the G. B flat. And again, you know, this is a big stretch, but when you get used to it, it's not really so bad. Just make sure your thumb is in the back and your fingers are extended like that. I mean, that's about as big as a stretch as you will need to do. Now, this shape for the B flat is going to be moved up for E flat. Down here for A flat. D flat. Down to G flat. To B. And then on E, it's kind of fun because we are down in this low position, and again, we're skipping the B string. So you have to come off for that. Back to A. As you play through these, try to use alternate picking throughout, and you can use some hammers and pull-offs if you like. So I'm doing that. That's a hammer. Just see which ones feel comfortable for you. So that can be useful. But go through each slowly and carefully and memorize those shapes of each specific triad.